could Sigma Beauty have released the next viral palette available now? They actually have the Spectrum eyeshadow palette, and they claim it has every neutral shade that you need to create an eyeshadow look. So we're going to do a first impression and live swatches of this eyeshadow palette today, and I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts. We have the new Sigma Beauty Spectrum eyeshadow palette. I did receive this in PR. The brand did send it to me to test out, do looks with it, and give you a full, unfiltered, honest review of this eyeshadow palette. So let's get into this video. Just to give you a little bit more information about this eyeshadow palette, it is 20 neutral shades and stunning matte and glitter finishes. It is available on the Sigma website as of May 13th, so you can snag yours. And I do have an affiliate code to save you some money. It is Staci. If you want to use it at checkout, you get this is a 20 shade eyeshadow palette. You have 15 mattes, and then you have 5 like metallics or shimmers, or like, you know, metallic glittery beautiful toppers. I actually haven't swatched this. First, we're going to do an eyeshadow look with this, and then I'm going to do live swatches for you guys. So in the box, I also did receive some of the Sigma Beauty brushes. I have the E35. Love this brush. And I also have the E54. The E35 is the Tapered Blending Brush, and we have the Sweeper Brush, and it is the E54 Medium Sweeper Brush. I'm so excited to dip into this palette. I did already prep my lids with the Sigma Eye Base in Ignite, and this does come with a full mirror, which is, their other palettes do come with full mirrors, but this is a square eyeshadow palette, which I like the size of it because I actually thought, like, when I saw the sneak peeks, that it was like way bigger. Most 20 pan palettes are bigger. So we're going to dip into Sand Dollar, which is this shade right here. I'm just going to dust this all over the top of my lid with this tapered blending brush. There are so many different mattes to choose from. We actually have almost like a khaki matte shade in here, and it's called Mohair. This is so pretty. We also have some cooler tone shades in here and warmer tone shades in here. And you also have some like pinkish tones in here as well, which is really nice to play with because you can use some of these shades down here and you can create like a rose gold eyeshadow look. You could do something a little bit more over the top, like a nice smoky eye. This is such a beautiful neutral palette. I'm actually going to use this shade right here called Papyrus, and this is kind of just like a mauve pink shade, and we're still using the tapered blending. We're going to put this on the crease, and this is just a very light pink shade, but I'm thinking we're going to do something a little bit more like pink today with a little bit of smokiness on the outer corner, just so that we can kind of capture, like, I want something like springish, something a little bit more like pink in color, because I do love rose gold like eyeshadow looks. And I think that's what we're going to go for today, but it's going to be a little bit of a smoky rose gold eyeshadow look. Super pigmented, super blendable. It is kind of matching my skin tone, but you can see where it is really creating this nice like gradient effect on my eye. I have the E38, which is the diffused crease brush, and I just want to darken that up a little bit more. So we're going to use Homemade, which is the shade right here. And I'm just going to focus this on the outer corner. And we're just like doing circular motions like this and slowly blending this into part of the crease and then also the outer corner. So you can see we have a little bit of depth going on here. This is so pretty. I love me a good neutral palette. Like, I love neutrals. This is definitely a palette that has been made for me. I feel like Divina just came out with their Decadent Desires collection, and that is one of my favorite like specialty like sparkly neutral collections from them. And then we have Sigma that just came out with this collection with this palette, and this like just speaks to me on so many levels. I do have so many palettes from the Sigma collection. I have the warm neutrals, which is more like pinks, and I really enjoy that palette, especially in the warmer months. And also I found that it's a really good like fall palette, but this is your everyday neutral palette. This is your, you could dip into this at any time. Like the mattes are just so completely blendable and pigmented. I honestly think that they compare to and rival Natasha Denona. Like, look how seamlessly that just like blended all across my eyes. Like, just so pretty. Now I'm going to take the medium sweeper brush that they also included in the PR box, and I'm going to just tap into double espresso. This almost has like a reddish tinge to it, and I'm just going to pat this on the outer corner and just kind of very lightly buff this in right here. We're going to create like this, hopefully really smoky, and we're not going to go above the crease. We're just going to focus it right here, like so. So it creates like a really smoky effect. And then we're taking that brush and we're actually just taking it from the outer corner right here and kind of blending it up. That way you get this like upward blend and it doesn't like diffuse out or anything. So it'll pull my eye up just a little bit. Yeah, it just like pulls the eye up. And we're mostly using like a patting motion to do this. This is just so pretty. And then I'm just literally taking the brush and like flicking it upward. I'm gonna go back in with my blending brush and just use sand dollar, and we're going to buff this into the brow bone. Very, like, it's a smoky eye, but I like it because it's not like too over the top. So this is what we have so far. And now we have all of these like metallics at the bottom here. Honestly, my eye fell to this one and also this one. So we have spiced peaches, which has like a pinkish tone to it, and clairvoyant. So I'm actually going to just take a look at these. That's super pretty. Peaches is a little bit more pink than I thought. I'm also going to swatch Tiger's Eye. Let's see this one. That's really pretty too. Let's see Honeysuckle. That's so pretty. And then we also have Dune. Those are so beautiful. I actually really like Dune, like this lighter color, but I think we're gonna go in with like a little bit of maybe spiced peaches. It's very pretty. And honestly, you could get like a full metallic look with this, or you could just kind of like sparkle it across the eye and it'll give you like that wet toppery look. That's one thing I really like about their like metallic formula. So we're gonna go in with spiced peaches first. I'm gonna actually just use my finger like so, and I'm gonna pop this right here, right on the middle of the lid. It's a little bit more peachy than I was expecting. That's not a bad thing, but it's definitely more peachy than what I was expecting. I'm going to find, I have a flat brush. This is from Singe Beauty. It's the E09. I'm actually going to wet this down with the, guys, like this is a tip for you. If you want to get some really metallic looking eyes, use the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray from e.l.f. Spray your brush because this has like gripping power and it really just like grips onto the eyeshadow. So we're going to take Dune right here and we're going to pop this on the inner portion of the lid. It does. It has like some sort of like grippiness to it that like it's like the perfect spray for grabbing and applying the shadow to your lid. It's just such a great spray overall, but like I found that it's a really good spray for applying eyeshadow. This is so pretty. Got a really nice like smoky eye going. I actually am really enjoying it. It's like very dark to that peachy shade, and then we have Dune on the inner corner, and we're like dragging it into the peach shade. That is so pretty. That is so pretty. Oh, I'm actually going to clean off my brush with my Sigma Switch, and we're going to spray it and put a little bit more of that peach shade on it and just like kind of pop that on the middle of the lid again because I feel like it needs a little bit more pow, like right there. So spiced peaches right here. And then I'm going to take Wallflower, which is this shade right here, and it's a little bit darker than Papyrus. And we're going to shade just the outer portion of the eye. And the brush I'm using is actually from Singe Beauty. It is the E11. It's like a pencil brush, and I really enjoy that one. The makeup is looking like I'm going to spray my face, put on my mascara, and then we're going to do live swatches. All right, we're gonna do some live swatches of this. We saw how it performed on the eyes, but I wanted to just see how the rest of the shades swatch out because we didn't really use all of the shades. Obviously, there's 20 shades in here. So we're going to just swatch these first, starting with the first row. We have sand, coriander, beach grass, camel, and star anise. These are the shades. Upon like putting my fingers in them, super buttery, super soft. So we have the shade here is Sand Dollar. We have coriander, so that really like matches my skin tone quite a bit. Then we have beach grass. This is a very warm leaning shade. And then camel. This is honestly it's a little bit warm too. You can see here on my skin tone, super warm. And then the last one we have is Star Anise. That's actually really, really pretty. I actually like that shade. It didn't look so dark like actually in the pan, but when I swatch it, that's really pretty. Next, we're gonna move on to Papyrus, which I do have this shade on my lid. We have Mohair, which this to me has like a khaki, almost green tinge to it. Even like when I swatch it, it looks a little bit green. And then we have Homemade, which is also on my lid. That one's very warm. We have Macchiato. That one is super cool toned. And then we have Cornucopia. That one's also really dark and like very uh cool toned as well, at least when I put them on. So let's just put these. So Papyrus. Then we have Mohair. That one still pulls really green and like khaki on me. And then we have Homemade. And then Macchiato is on my pinky. This one looks very cool toned to me. Like it's showing up cool toned on me. And then we have Cornucopia. This one is super dark, like super dark, super dark. I really enjoy that one. I should have done my swatches a little differently. Yeah, but you know what? Okay. I really like that cornucopia one and the macchiato one. That one's actually really pretty. And actually, homemade, it pulls a little bit warm on me as well. Homemade is this one right here, and it pulls a little bit warm on me, but that's super pretty. All right, we're gonna go into the third row. This is Wallflower. We also have this on the lower lash line. Then we have Buttered Waffles. This is super warm. And Brickyard. When I think of Brickyard, I think a little bit of a red undertone, and it is pulling warm. And then we have Double Espresso. This one is definitely got like a reddish undertone to it. And then Peppercorn. And this one is like a black brown. It doesn't look fully like matte black. It looks kind of matte brown. So we're going to put these on. So we have Wallflower right there. Buttered Waffles. Yeah, that pulls. That's actually really pretty. That's such a pretty brown shade. And then we have Brickyard, which is the shade right here. This is going to be very warm and very, it does have like a red lean to it. And then we also have the Double Espresso. This definitely has like a purplish tinge to it. And then the last shade is Peppercorn. Peppercorn is, it's like a black brown. I can't swatch very well with my thumb, but I wanted to get all five on there. So not the greatest of shade like swatches, but you guys get it. You guys get it. Now we're going to do the last five, which is all the metallic shades. I did put them on, obviously, my fingertips when we did the eyeshadow, but I want to see how they look swatched out. So we have Dune. That's so pretty. Tiger's Eye. That's really pretty too. And then Spiced Pitches. Super pretty. And then Honeysuckle. And last but not least, we have Clairvoyant. That's really pretty. It's like a very smoky shade with a little bit of a pink undertone to it. So I'm actually just going to swatch these on the back of my hand here. So the Clairvoyant shade actually almost looks like a topper. It's not super super metallic. It actually looks almost like a topper. Dune is so pretty. That like, that's such a beautiful shade. I absolutely love that. And then we have this shade right here, which is Tiger's Eye, and then the Spice Peaches and Honeysuckle. And honestly, these are just so pretty. I definitely think that the Clairvoyant shade, like this is definitely more of like a wet looking topper. And it's so pretty. Like it does have that base pigment, but it's gonna look more kind of like wet on your eyes. And honestly, their foils, like depending on how you apply it, it can look wet on your eyes. That's why I love the Sigma formula so much, because it has such a unique formula to me, especially when it translates on the eyes. But these are so pretty. Like, I can't get enough of these. I think these are gorgeous. They're the perfect, like, just 5 shades of like metallic-y, toppery shades. And the rest of this is matte, which I actually like this being more matte heavy. I've been kind of into like just doing a simple matte eyeshadow and then throwing something on maybe on the inner corner sometimes. And this can achieve that eyeshadow look so well. So guys, this is available right now on the Sigma website. Check the description box down below for a link to it if you want to shop it. Don't forget to use my code Staci. I do get a little bit of a kickback, but I do pour that right back into my channel. And I hope you guys liked this video, this first impression of the new Sigma Spectrum palette. I'm going to keep on using it, and we're going to see what my final thoughts are in a couple of weeks. So, Spectrum of Beauty. Every neutral shade you